And a special thanks to Representative Omar of Minnesota. Oh, I forgot. She doesn't like Israel. I forgot. I'm so sorry. Oh. No, she doesn't like Israel, does she? Oh. Please, I apologize. A great friend of mine, one of the most successful men in the state, amazing guy, tremendous businessman, Mr. Phil Ruffin. Where's Phil? Phil? Thank you, Phil. A competitor of mine in Manhattan for a long time, always built great buildings, great architecture, was known for design and success. Loves Israel, George Klein. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. So many friends in this room. We're also grateful to be joined by members of my administration, including Jason Greenblatt and a young man named Jared Kushner. He is fighting for Israel. Thank you very much. Great job. Peace in the Middle East. If they can't do it, nobody can. David Friedman, your ambassador to Israel. He loves Israel. Doing an incredible job. Thank you, David. Finally, to every member of the Republican Jewish Coalition, thank you for your incredible support and your outstanding commitment to our country, to our safety, and to electing more Republicans. We need more Republicans. Let's go so we can win everything. Over the next 19 months, I know that the Republican Jewish Coalition will help lead our party to another historic victory. And by the way, we did very well at 18. You can ask David and Lindsey. We won the Senate. We took on two more. There were 3 or 4 that were very close that weren't supposed to be. All of a sudden, that didn't happen, and we're going to talk about that, I think, when we get back to Washington. But I'll tell you what, we picked up 2 Senate seats, and now it's 53 to 47, and we have 53 great senators. And when it comes to appointments, when it comes to the United States Supreme Court, when it comes to approving all of the judges, way over 100 judges, federal judges, you need the Senate. We did well. They don't like to talk about that. They don't like, and I don't have enough time. So many people in the House. But the people I went for, like in Kentucky, Matt Barr, he won. He was down, he won. We won so much. We won in Georgia, great governor, Brian Kemp. They had President Obama. They had Oprah. They had Michelle Obama. They were going for their new star in the party. And I was going for Brian. All he had was Trump. You know who won? Brian won. Brian won. And the governor of a great state known as Ohio. You have a great governor. He was not expected to win. He campaigned brilliantly. We did some incredible rallies. He won by almost 7 points. He won easily. So Mike is great. And the governor of Florida. Governor of Florida. That was supposed to be a close race, and it was a tough race, but we won that one. And Oklahoma and many other places, we did so well. We get no credit. Fake news. We get no credit. We get no credit. Let's just keep winning. I'd rather have it that way than get too much credit and not win. That happens too to some people. Doesn't happen to me. When I spoke to you as a candidate 3 years ago, America's economy was stagnant, our military was depleted, and the relationship between the United States and Israel was at probably the lowest point in history. How the hell did you support President Obama? How did you do it? How did you do it? How did you support the Democrats? Yeah, you guys didn't. I think probably most of the people in this room didn't. Oh, you love Israel. But, you know, you look at the Iran deal. You look at so much that was done so negatively. Now, just 3 years later, I stand before you as the President of the United States to report on a very different situation. Under Republican leadership, America's economy is the hottest anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. Our military will soon be more powerful than ever before. $700 billion, $716 billion. This year, I don't know, David and Lindsay, I think probably in the 750 to 725 range. Have to do it. You don't have the military, all the stuff. Doesn't matter, does it, huh? You don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about anything. You got to have a strong, strong military. We'll have the strongest than we've ever had before. And the incredible bond between the United States and Israel has never been stronger than it is right now. America is thriving, America is booming, and America is winning, winning, winning like never before. We're respected again. We are respected again. It's been a long time. Since the election, we've created more than 5.5 million new jobs, including 600,000 manufacturing jobs. Things that nobody would have allowed me to say on the campaign trail. They would have said, oh, he exaggerates. After years of stagnation, wages are rising fast. Think of it. People had one job 21 years ago. They made more money in real dollars than they did 2 years ago with 3 jobs and 2 jobs. And now, for the first time, they have a choice. Our economy is so strong, they can have a choice of jobs, and wages are going up. First time in many, many years. And one of the things that makes me happiest, frankly, is that they're going up most quickly for the lowest income Americans. Great, right? Great. Our unemployment has reached the lowest level in more than 50 years. And we will be breaking that record, I believe, pretty soon. We slashed 30,000 pages of job-killing regulations from the Federal Register, an all-time record. It doesn't matter if they were there for 4 years or 8 years or 10 years in one instance. We really did something. We had, take a look at FDR. All of those years, nobody slashed them like us. You had a 4-termer. You have a lot of 2-termers. And in less than 2 years, and I happen to believe that that was as important and maybe even more important than the largest tax cut in the history of our country that you also got. We're fixing broken trade deals. We're working on a trade deal now with China. We're doing very well, very well. Because of tariffs, we're making a deal that's very good. You'll be happy. If it happens, might not happen, but we have tremendous power. We have to tell our people that represent us in Washington that when countries, I'm not talking about China, I'm talking about many countries, when they're charging us 100% tax or tariff, when they're charging us 200 and 250 and 300%, and we charge them nothing, it's okay to charge them something. Maybe you could explain that to some of your people that say, oh, we don't like tariffs. I mean, we have a case where a certain country, India, is charging us, what great country, great friend, Prime Minister Modi, charging us over 100% for many things. We're charging them nothing for similar or the same product. And I have senators that say, you can't do that. It's not free trade. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? It's not free trade. I don't know. Where's David? You got to work on these people, David. Where's Lindsay? Will you please work on them? It's the craziest thing. It's stupid trade. We have so much stupid trade. We lost, for many years now, $800 billion a year in trade. Who the hell makes these deals? You're probably saying to yourself, those are not good negotiators. Actually, Democrats made a lot of them, but Republicans made a lot of them, too. That's the amazing thing. They made a lot. $800 billion, but we're getting it back. We're getting it back. We're going to be getting a lot of it back. Tell you one thing, if they let me really do my thing, we'd get it back. But I have to be a little bit politically correct by saying it's okay if we lose 20 billion with a country, because we want to be nice. We want to be nice to everybody. We're cracking down on countries that cheat. We're replacing NAFTA with the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA. NAFTA was the worst trade deal ever made. Many of you people have factories and plants. They're still empty. They signed NAFTA, and it was that great big sucking sound. Remember that? Remember that? Ross Perot, great big sucking sound. That's what happened. They left. They went to Mexico. They went to Canada. They went to a lot of places. It was a bad thing for us. But we'll be ending NAFTA, hopefully very soon. Very soon. And one of the things in the New Deal is that it's very difficult financially for a company to leave the United States, fire all of its employees, move, let's say, to Mexico or Canada, open up a new plant, make a product, sell it in for no tax. So we end up with unemployment and nothing but loss and empty factories. That's not happening anymore, folks. Not happening anymore. We've ended the war on American energy, and the United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world, bigger than Russia and bigger than Saudi Arabia. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? 2 years. Thank you very much. And we're working now on getting pipelines approved in Texas that would normally take 10, 12, 14, 15 years to get approved. And we're trying to get them approved very rapidly. And if we do that, we're going to pick up another 20 to 25%. We'll be leading by so much. We already are leading by a lot. It's all happened over a very short period of time. And we've confirmed more than 100 new federal judges to interpret the Constitution as written. And as Norm said, and I appreciate that, so important, Norm, we have confirmed 2 incredible Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Don't let the Democrats take it away from us. They'll take it all away. They'll take it all away, including the judges. With the help of Republicans in Congress, we have secured record funding for our military. Our military is now going to be stronger than ever before. Ever, not even close. We're developing new weapon systems. We're developing things that nobody even thought of. Levels of technology that nobody else has. With all of that being said, if we can be smart, and if China and Russia and maybe one or two others, if necessary, can be smart, we'd all be saving a tremendous amount of money, and that's okay with me. But we will be so far in the lead. We always have to be in the lead. And thanks to our focus on burden sharing, $100 billion more dollars will be coming this year to NATO. Think of that. Other countries, in certain instances, we're getting an almost free ride. We protect them, and they're delinquent. You know, I use a real estate term for George Klein. He understands. He understands the word delinquent. They were delinquent. I said, you got to pay. President Obama got in. He made a nice speech, but he forgot to mention you got to pay. President Bush was wonderful. They didn't mention you got to pay. And you got to mean it, not just mention. You got to mean it. I said, you got to pay, because we're in a position. Everybody wants us. But how do you do that when people aren't paying? How do you do that? We feel foolish. We feel like fools. We're not going to be fools anymore. We've been a fool as a nation for so long. We're not going to be fools anymore. Last year, I withdrew the United States from one of the most dangerous, one-sided deals ever negotiated, the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. They wanted to kill Israel. They wanted to destroy Israel. And maybe you could explain to the young man that just got taken out what it means when a country shouts as they're signing the deal, death to Israel. Maybe you could explain that to him. We've now imposed the toughest ever sanctions on the Iranian dictatorship. And it is not the same country it was when I took power. When I took over the presidency, I will tell you, one of the first meetings I had was at the Pentagon. Great generals, great people. I wanted a briefing on Iran. We had 14 different sites. They were all very, very dangerous, blow-ups all over. They were either behind it, they had mercenaries, they had money, or they had their own soldiers there, all over the Middle East. It's a whole different story today, folks. They have riots in the streets. They have very little money coming in. A lot of things have changed. North Korea, we're getting along with North Korea. Let's see how it works out. But we have a good relationship. Don't forget, I have a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un. When I first came in, they were setting rockets and nuclear explosions, and a lot of things were happening. Can't tell you what's going to happen. Had to walk from the one deal. Wasn't going to be a right deal, but we have a great relationship. We'll see what happens. I hope we're going to be able to do something. Maybe, maybe not, but I hope we're going to be able. Relationship is very important. You know that very well. We're confronting the deadly menace of radical Islamic terrorism. When I took office just over 2 years ago, ISIS controlled more than 20,000 square miles in Iraq and Syria. I held up a map. It was so much red, red meaning them, all red, showing the different sites. Today, the ISIS caliphate has been 100% obliterated. 100%. And my previous general said that it was going to take, sir, it will take 2 years. I flew to Iraq. I met a different group of generals. Sir, we can do it in 1 week. I said, you can take a little longer than that. They did it in a few weeks. They're great, right? Raisin Cain. His name is Raisin. What's your first name? Raisin. Raisin. What the hell kind of, what's your last name? Cain. Wait a minute. Your name's Raisin Cain? I like you as a general. I think that's what I want. Even Sheldon Adelson likes that as a general. It's the kind of a guy he'd have. I also took another historic action that had been decades in waiting, the United States recognized the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Because unlike other presidents, I keep my promises. Every president for many decades said they were going to do that. And I understand really why. Because when it was determined that maybe I'd do it, maybe there was a chance, the calls I got from leaders of other countries were unbelievable. Presidents, dictators, prime minister, kings, queens, everybody. My phone was ringing off the hook. So I knew I was going to do it. So I left a message. I said, I'm going to call you next week. They said, could we speak to him? I said, no, he's not available. They'll call it lying. The fake news will say, that's a horrible lie. I want to be nice. No, I'll call you next week. I look forward to it. I had so many calls after this. It took me like 3 weeks to make all the calls. But I knew what they were calling about. So I did it. Then I started calling people back. King, how are you? How have you been? I called you last week. I said, what's up? Well, I wanted to talk to you about Israel and the embassy in Jerusalem. I said, look, I'm sorry, I wish I would have known. I did it yesterday. Right? It's much easier. But I now know why other presidents, I don't really hold it against them other than they didn't keep their promise, right? They didn't keep their promise, David. So that's the way it is. And we got you something that you wanted. I can tell you, Sheldon and Miriam, that is the most important thing I think that's ever happened in their life. They love Israel. So, but I can now understand, because I always said, why wouldn't they do it? Why? Why are they doing it? Why wouldn't they just do it? They campaigned, we will this and that, Israel. Then you folks go out and vote for them, and then they don't do it, right? 4 years, 8 years, didn't matter. They won't do it. But you know what? They did it. We did a great job, and we feel great about it. And then last week, Israel's security, really so important. It's all about security. When you get right down, it's about security. It's always number one for me. I got to talk. We could talk healthcare. We could talk 100 different things. Without security, what does it matter? I stood with Prime Minister Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu. How is the race going, by the way? How is it? Who's going to win the race? Tell me. I don't know. Well, it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. Two good people. But I stood with your Prime Minister at the White House to recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights is something I've been hearing about for a long time. The Golan Heights. So I was talking to Ambassador Friedman, and not about this. They've been trying to get that approved, as you know, for 52 years. They wanted recognition from the United States on the Golan Heights. They had 32 summits, meetings, big meetings over many, many decades about the Golan Heights. I'm talking to your ambassador. Jared was there. Jason Greenblatt was there. I said, fellas, do me a favor. Give me a little history, quick. I want to go fast. I got a lot of things I'm working on. China, North Korea. Give me a quickie. Norm, I said, give me a quick little, so I know it as well as Norm, but I don't want to spend quite as much time as he has spent studying it, right? Which has been his entire life, right? So they had 32 different summits. He starts going, well, we need that. It's the high point. We need it for protection. We need it for... I said, all right, good. How do you like the idea? They weren't even calling about this. How do you like the idea of me recognizing exactly what we're discussing? Because I agree. You need it. You need the height. You need the height. A great general said, always fight downhill. Never fight uphill. A lot of battles are lost where these generals want to fight uphill, right? You need the height. So I said, David, what do you think about me recognizing Israel and the Golan Heights? He said, would you actually do, and this is a great deal maker. It's one of the most successful lawyers, gave it all up in order to be your ambassador. Gave it all up. What do you think of it, David? And he goes, and this is a very strong, ambitious guy, like a wonderful, beautiful baby. He said, do you really, you would do that, sir? I said, yeah, I think I'm doing it right now. Let's write something out. We make fast decisions. And we make good decisions. Look, I've made a lot of good decisions. Make good decisions. And we got something beautiful, talking about security, talking about the greatness of Israel. And I went, bing. It was done. Then I watched, oh, look at all those cameras. Then I watched the fake news. And they said, we have breaking news. President Trump has just committed to the Golan Heights. And it was a big, big story for 2 days. Everyone's happy. No repercussions. No, and there won't be. And we're there to protect Israel, so there won't be. We did the right thing. We did the right thing. And I want to congratulate Jared and Jason Greenblatt and David Friedman and all of the people they work with. And a big thing for me, and some of you won't like this maybe, but I would love to see peace in the Middle East. I would love to see peace in the Middle East. And if those three can't do it, you'll never have it done. It's never, with me as president, with them doing the deal, you'll never have it done. So let's see if we can do it. Who knows? Under my administration, the United States will always support Israel's right to self-defense. At the United Nations, we no longer tolerate any form of anti-American, anti-Israel, and anti-Semitic bias. We don't do it. For example, the United Nations Human Rights Council has repeatedly denigrated America and Israel while, and you know this, you've heard this, while ignoring the world's worst human rights abusers. That's why I withdrew the United States from the UN Human Rights Council. And thank you to Nikki. Thank you to Nikki. Terrific job, Nikki Haley. With your help, we are making incredible strides on behalf of the American people, and we are just getting started. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And that guy that just said that, he used to hate me. Can you believe it? He used to hate me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But while Republicans fight to protect the jobs and safety of all Americans, Democrats are advancing the most extreme partisan agenda by far in American history. You see what's happening. You see what's happening. People aren't fighting for Israel in Congress, large numbers of people. You saw what took place 3 weeks ago. It was shocking. That couldn't have happened. It could not have happened just a few years ago. Could not have happened. If implemented, the Democrats' radical agenda would destroy our economy, cripple our country, and very well could leave Israel out there all by yourselves. Can't do that. More than 100 Democrats in Congress are promoting the biggest government power grab in U.S. history, the $100 trillion Green New Deal proposed by a wonderful young bartender, 29 years old. 29. No, I like her. She's 29 years old. We take trains to Europe, Hawaii, and Australia. That's a problem. The farming business is in big trouble, right? The auto business, you get one car. Somehow Detroit, etc. You know, I'm bringing so many car companies in. I don't think they're going to be thrilled to hear that. We are. We're built. I tell you what, when you look at what's happening with the car companies, they're opening up in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and North Carolina and South Carolina. It's amazing what's happening. We want to keep it going. You know, they could destroy what we've built very quickly. It doesn't. That's why having Lindsay and David and all of the people that I mentioned and so many more back in Washington, really, we're going to stop it. And we're going to win the election. We're going to win it. We're going to win it big. It will never be as easy as it looks. Over 120 congressional Democrats are also supporting a socialist takeover of our health care system that would take away private insurance. If you take a look at this, 180 million people will lose their private health insurance. And you're finally happy. You're happy. We've done a lot of work on that. You're happy. The radical Democrats are also pushing for a thing called, if you can believe this, open borders. They want open borders. They want people to pour into our country. Last month, more than 100,000 illegal migrants were apprehended at our border. Apprehended. Putting their finest? Do you think they're putting their great people there? No. And then people come in and you see what happens with the crime and murders. 4,000 murders last year. 4,000. How stupid can we be to put up with this? How stupid can we be? And the asylum program is a scam. Some of the roughest people you've ever seen. People that look like they should be fighting for the UFC. They read a little page given by lawyers that are all over the place. You know, lawyers. They tell them what to say. You look at this guy, you say, wow, that's a tough cookie. I am very fearful for my life. I am very worried that I will be accosted. If I am sent back home, no, he'll do the accosting. Asylum. Oh, give him asylum. He's afraid. He's afraid. We don't love the fact that he's got tattoos on his face. That's not a good sign. We don't love the fact that he's carrying the flag of Honduras or Guatemala or El Salvador, only to say he's petrified to be in his country. To confront this border crisis, I declared a national emergency. And David Perdue and Lindsey Graham helped me. A lot of people helped us. When congressional Democrats tried to reverse my order and terminate vital border security operations, I very proudly issued my first veto. And they were not able to turn over the veto, so now we have. In fact, we have billions of dollars. We've started building walls actually a while ago from the first $1.6 billion and renovation of a lot of walls. We could do that a lot cheaper. We had walls that were potentially very good, but they were in very bad shape. They were old. We renovated them. We have got a tremendous amount. We're going to put out a list, but we will have hundreds of miles before the end of next year. Hundreds of miles. And yesterday I traveled to the border in Calexico, California, and I saw a section of brand new 30-foot-high steel wall. You want to be able to see through it. You got to see through it. You got to see who's on the other side. Beautiful wall. Looks great. Looks great. Walls build good neighbors, right? Now we have to take care of ourselves. And I have to say, I said I was going to close the border. It's gotten so bad. I said, we're closing the border. And as soon as I said that, and I really thanked the president of Mexico, because they stepped up. And now they are apprehending people on their southern border, coming in from Honduras, El Salvador, and various other places. Guatemala, and I stopped paying almost $600 million to those three countries. Now, I got a lot of heat. The Democrats say, how dare you do that? That money is used for all these good, but no, it's not. It's largely stolen. I send $600 million, we do, $600 million to three countries, and they form caravans. Now, if the government wanted to, I have a feeling they'd be able to stop caravans from forming in those three countries. I have a feeling. They're pretty tough. They're pretty tough down there. But they didn't, so I stopped the payment. Do you mind? Are you okay with it? Because I've taken a lot of heat from the stupid people that say, oh, gee, we should keep. We have people that work with them that say we should be sending much more money. We should be building things there, helping them. What about building our own country for a change? Wouldn't that be nice? Unfortunately, Democrats have refused to close immigration loopholes. That's really what it's all about. And again, Mexico has apprehended 1,400 people yesterday, 1,000 people the day before. They've never done this, never to the extent. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But if they don't do it, I'm going to close the border, or I'm going to do tariffs on the cars made in Mexico. They took 30% of our car business. By the way, I wasn't here when that happened, okay? I used to complain about it as a civilian. I'd complain. I said, what the hell is going on? They're taking our business. They have 30% of our cars. They make 30% of our cars. They send them into our country. No tax, no nothing, essentially. And we lost a lot of jobs, but we're getting them all back now. Getting them all back now. But I said we're either going to tariff those cars coming in at 25%, which is a tremendous amount of money. It's all about the cars. The cars are a big deal. Or we're going to close the border. And I will say this, Mexico has been great. The last 4 or 5 days they've been great. First time. At the heart of And I don't mind closing the border. I tell you, a lot of these fakers back there, they say, he will never close the border. It's too much. Well, close the border, we stop about $500 billion worth of drugs from pouring into our country, There are a lot of advantages to it, too. A lot of advantages to it, too. I'm okay with it. I don't want to do it, but I'm okay with it. I'll do it. I'll do whatever is necessary to stop an invasion of our country. That's what it is. At the heart of the crisis are the Ninth Circuit rulings in the Flores case and the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act, driving a staggering surge of illegal families and minors into the hands of our incredible Border Patrol people. They've done an incredible job. What they do is incredible. I was with them yesterday. So Congress must end catch and release so that illegal border crossers can be quickly and safely returned to their home. Get out. Sorry, get out. Sorry, can't handle it. And I told my people yesterday, our country's full. We're full. Our system's full. Our country is full. Can't come in. Our country is full. What can you do? We can't handle anymore. Our country is full. Can't come in. I'm sorry. It's very simple. Never before has a major political party been more outside the American mainstream than the Democrats of today. They have become the party of high taxes, open borders, late-term abortion, crime, witch hunts, and delusions. And now the Democrats have even allowed the terrible scourge of anti-Semitism to take root in their party and in their country. They have allowed that. They have allowed that. House Democrats recently blocked legislation to confront the anti-Semitic movement to boycott and sanction Israel. Nobody could believe it, right? Nobody. You couldn't believe it. Republicans believe that we must never ignore the vile poison of anti-Semitism. We do, all of us. Earlier this year, I appointed a new special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. We are grateful that he has joined us today, Elan Carr. Where's Elan? Thank you. Great job, Elan. If Elan's as good as I hear, he's going to do a great job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. At my State of the Union address, I was honored to have as our guest a Pittsburgh SWAT officer, brave guy. I was with him in the hospital, who raced into gunfire during the horrific anti-Semitic attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue. He was shot 7 times, badly injured. He endured 12 surgeries, and he's going to have to endure quite a few more. We are proud to have him here with us right now. If he wasn't there, as bad as it was, as horrible as it was, it would have been much worse. He is a brave man. Timothy Matson. Please stand, Timothy. Timothy. I saw him right after this horrible event, this horrible happening, and he was laying in the hospital. He had bullet wounds all over. He's a massive guy. I looked at the chest. I mean, he's got like this, and it's muscle. Thank God you're massive, and thank God you had a lot of muscle, because very few people could have taken what you took, Timothy. And your friends, they had such respect for him. His fellow officers, they had such respect. Thank you. Glad to see you better. That's great. Glad to see you better. Amazing. What he went through. Today we also honor two more American heroes, Mordecai Lichtenstader and Simke Sin. I love that name. Both from Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn very well. My father, Fred Trump. I love my father. Brooklyn. Spent a lot of time in Brooklyn. You learn a lot in Brooklyn. You get through Brooklyn, you got to be smart. 2 years ago, Mordecai and Simke traveled to Jerusalem, where they prayed at the Western Wall. Soon after they left the holy site, they saw a terrorist stabbing an innocent Israeli police officer. Racing to the scene, Mordecai pulled the attacker off the soldier and was about to be stabbed himself. It was happening when the badly wounded officer summoned the little strength that he had left and shot and killed this very violent terrorist. Simke immediately took his prayer shawl and wrapped it around the officer's wounds to stop the bleeding, which was profuse. After the attack, the officer said of the two Jewish Americans, "They were sent by God to save my life. For me, my family, and the Druze people of Israel, I thank God from the bottom of my heart." That's the officer. Thank you. Mordecai, Simke, where are you? Stand up. Great job. Thank you. Great job. Great job. Thank you very much. Recently, Mordecai and Simke became the first non-Israeli citizens to receive the country's Civil Exemplary Decoration. That's a big deal. To Mordecai and Simke, you are an inspiration to all of us, to everyone in this room, to everyone in our country. Thank you very much. The three American heroes we recognize today are a powerful reminder of the timeless values that bind us together as one nation and that forge our deep and lasting friendship with the people of Israel. We honor our history. We treasure our traditions. We cherish life. We love our families. We defend our sovereignty. We fight for our freedom. And we place our trust in the hands of Almighty God. These are values that unite us all as Republicans, as citizens, as patriots, and as proud Americans. Every day of my presidency, we fight on behalf of hardworking citizens who pay their taxes, follow our laws, raise their children, protect our communities, and make this the greatest nation ever to exist on the face of earth. This government is their government, and this land is home. These American patriots have always been loyal to our country, and we will forever be loyal, we swear, to them. The choice for our country's future has never been clearer than it is today. The Republican Party is the party for all Americans. It will be the party for great health care. You watch. We are the party of the American worker. We are the party of the American family. And we are the party of the American dream. Alongside our friends, at the Republican Jewish Coalition, we will keep on working, we will keep on fighting, and we will be winning for the American people. With your help on November 3rd, 2020, can you believe it's right around the corner? Think of it, right around the corner. Thank you very much. We're going to win. By the way, one of the people, and then that was confirmed by somebody else today on the other side, Democrats, were saying that they would reinstate the Iran nuclear deal. Well, this is what you have. They want to reinstate the deal. It was a disaster for our country. We gave $150 billion, $1.8 billion in cash. What does that look like? Airplanes loaded up with cash. How stupid was that deal? They want to reinstate it. Republicans are going to win the White House. We're going to retake the House. We're going to keep the Senate. And we are once again going to be in a position, in my opinion, like never, ever before, stronger than we've ever been before. There is more spirit for the Republican Party right now than I've ever seen. They keep talking about the spirit of the Democrat Party. There's more spirit for Republicans. In my opinion, by far, we may express it somewhat differently, and that's okay. More spirit than I have ever seen. And I've now been doing this for a little while. Not too long. I'm 1 for 1. That's it. 1 for 1. I want to be 2 for 2 and then relax. And together with the love, the prayers, and devotion of everyone in this room, credible people, and the millions of patriots across our land, we will make America great again for all Americans, greater than ever before. Thank you, and God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you.